You want me to send it to you?
Yeah, I found it. Okay, we're live.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. We had to reschedule this show, and so we hope that you guys can join us and actually stay for the whole time with us and engage. We have a really, actually, pretty interesting and amazing show tonight. I think inspirational at that. I think sometimes when we meet people who are just really humble and giving, I think it's always nice that they come on the show and kind of share their knowledge. And so we're super excited for tonight's show. We were bummed that it was we couldn't go on the date that we said we were going to, but excited that we could reschedule and have Dr. Lee join us. And so if you're live with us, please say hi. Let us know where you're watching us from and help share this live. Callie and I will bring Dr. Lee on in a second here, and then we will ask him all of our questions. If you have any at all whatsoever, please make sure that you put it in the comment, and we will try our best to grab those questions and have Dr. Lee answer them.
I'm going to share this into the North Carolina group. Hopefully they will allow me to share in there. Otherwise, North Carolina, you're haters. This is your very own North Carolinian, so you better. I'm just kidding. I think it's Kong. It might be Kong Moore who's over there. So I'm just kidding, Kong. Don't post about me, okay?
Watch you be a Hmong tea tomorrow.
I know. Hi, Chai. It was through you that we got to know more of this gentleman, and so we're really excited because I know he came to the Hmong Hustlers, but so there's so many humble Hmong millionaires that you're sitting beside them and you don't even know, and so super grateful that you brought him on, Chai, on your show, and we really want to just know more and bring our audience to get to know him. Florida will allow. Are you sure? I feel like Florida was hating us, so we need to talk to some of those admin up in there.
Right.
Hi, Sophia. Please tag somebody that you feel can use this episode, even if they're not looking to build urgent care centers. I think if you're just wanting to build something, wanting to create something, start a business or take that next step, I think this story is going to really motivate you.
Yeah. And I think Dr. Lee is one of those, if you missed the show that we did, was it last week, Kelly, or the week before? To Fang about the Hmong Wealth Builders that's happening in Minnesota. Again, people from all walks of life attend those conferences, and Dr. Lee was one of the ones that we met when we went to Chai's for Hmong Hustlers. And so again, you just don't know who you're going to sit next to or who you're going to meet. And so I think it's really important that if the opportunity arises, that you should attend some of these conferences and meet some of our really amazing Hmong folks who've been super successful in their careers and the things that they've done. So super excited to.
I'm going to share into this Hmong Hustlers group. I'm going to see if the admin will let me share.
If Florida will, I'm sure that Hmong Hustlers will.
Yes. All right. Well, we have someone who has not built only one, but has built 2 urgent care centers. And I think when I first heard that, I was just like, wow, like, how do you even begin? Like, when I think about urgent care and like just how formal and how complicated it seems with insurance and with, customers and probably all sorts of licensing, it just seems really scary. And so we are having our guest, Dr. Lee, who is from North Carolina, on with us tonight. And so with that, I'm just going to bring him on.
Hello. Hello. Hey, thank you guys for inviting me here to on your show. So Callie and Olivia, thank you both. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for willing to come. As we were talking before the show, you are just got off work and you're East Coast, so that's 9 p.m. So I think that for anybody who thinks that being an entrepreneur is easy, I think if you're wanting to leave at 5, is that something that's doable, Dr. Lee, leaving at 5?
Well, it's not. You're the physician there and you're the owner there. So you, unless you went through the cover college, yeah, that's fine. But if you're on that day, you got to complete your shift. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes it hard, huh? So before we go into like more of the questions about your business
Mhm.
and just kind of know your story a little bit, we kind of want to bring it back to before you decided to become a physician.
Okay.
Take us back to when you were like 18. What were you doing? Did you always know that this was something you wanted to do? Like, what were your dreams and goals at that age? And kind
Yeah.
of what were your plans?
Well, the we have Hmong engineer, okay? So,
Absolutely.
you know, because Tokumo I didn't know what I wanted to do. Guinchipoa. Tashima, you itu tu Hmong, right? You lot itu tu Hmong ke, you need you see la yin itu here you can da ka chia, right? Tashima le chi to ha de ka yo ka la ola lo, right?
Yeah.
Ka mu kan da ke as a first generation Hmong American, let's talk you can die and become successful and stuff. But you chipao definition of what success really means. Ko
Yeah.
chipao and so to kuma ko yi hyong le ku ti chipao de ku yo mu ka ra chi tia. So ku kun da pong ye be mu ka computer science. We did computer science together as an undergrad, but it was not successful to me because I just couldn't see myself pursuing that career path anymore. This is my purpose. And so all the way until I was 25, finding my purpose in life was the hardest thing. And I think that the because Johnny they done China learn mature a lot faster. So at an early age, like both they like watching, right? Yeah. But majority, which I done taught, but majority of a lot of the Hmong men or the Hmong guys I know, it take them a little bit time to mature. And I think I was one of those guys that took a little bit while to you mature. You oh you look hot you start what actually you start serve and so that's what I went through. I went through a lot of hardship, trying to figure out who I really was and what my calling was. It was not until I fell rock bottom. Okay, so I fell rock bottom. At that time, oh yeah, no ku yo uli ku teach me how career path na te tia tia. I don't really know what I want to do. And during that time, I feel like it was more of a spiritual calling also because as a Christian, we're called to serve, but I didn't understand that either until I really felt rock bottom, and then I had to get back on my knees and pray to the Lord and ask Him to open up opportunities for me. And that's when when the doors opened for me, then it seemed like everything just went smooth. So my experience from this is totally different from everyone because in the sense that you as an undergrad you couldn't when the doors open for you everything just fall into alignment. And so how like that when the stars and everything align together, my life that's how everything came to be was when I went back and repent and got back to to understand what my calling was as a Christian. Then everything just kind of aligned back with the stars and everything kind of went accordingly. So going into like medical school was easy. I took all my board tests like I passed everything on the first try. It was long hours. I think I told this to Chai's podcast last time. It was 8-hour tests. 8 hours without any issue. And it was a total of 6 exams to become board certified. And so you're looking at 48 hours of testing. And I pre-matched at that time, I actually pre-matched into three spots too. And so for those that don't know what pre-match is, they come interview into residency and they like you and they just offer you, they just give you the position right away. And so I was very fortunate that I got that opportunity. And so I think that everything kind of came to be accordingly. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I love how you talked about, I know like we always talk about success and wanting to be successful. And I appreciate you talking about how it took you some time to kind of find your calling. And I think that it's so easy for us to like shy other people. And
Yeah,
you all you see is like the good stuff that people put out, and you follow the difficulties, and that they are also feeling like they're falling behind. And I think that sometimes we have to stop comparing our successes, and that what's successful to us might not even be successful to them, and
that's
that's
true.
okay. Now y'all, like
That is true.
everybody, whether that's like furthering education or getting a certain amount of money or just even starting a family, like those are all different, and it's okay to
Hmm.
have that, and also to take the time. It's not, I think we have the rest of our lives to reach whatever it is that we want to. And so I think as long as you, yeah, call you, I think that
Yeah,
that is a good sign.
yep, that's true.
So what was your specialty in the medical field? And
Well,
how did you come to know that that was, because the medical field is not just like you cheat the, I mean, I
yeah,
think you can be a
Yoma.
family doctor, right? But then
Yeah,
you can also do
correct,
like lots of
correct.
stuff.
So during my training, during my medical school year, right, you got get exposed to like OBGYN, pediatric, internal medicine. But internal medicine, naman, more branching down more into cardiology, gastro, pulmonology, all the other subspecialty with that. And then is there surgery? There is orthopedic and all these other specialty that all these other residency field that you can go into. But what caught me the most was the family medicine part about it. So rotation, yes, family medicine was really laid back. It was really chill, and so I wanted a good lifestyle. That's what it came down to. It was the lifestyle, and everyone has their own lifestyle that loves sanya. Some people prefer to be in the OR all day, like anesthesia. Okay, some certain people like to be in the ER taking care of emergent cases. Okay, for me at that time, I love the continuity of care. Okay, um, I feel like got to itu ichening, right? Got to ichening ke, got to the panya all the minua, and then when the wife gets pregnant, you go through her with the delivery of the baby, and then you take care of the baby, and then you with all the vaccination. So it's a continuity of care. And so that was one of the reasons why I really loved about family medicine was about that part. And you're not just one doctor, but you're a doctor for the whole family. And so that's one thing that I really liked about that too. And I thought that how you chening la you pato tia, that was one of the key part about it was, có mỗi ít tu ninh nhau có chuyện ninh là chỉ có cho chính chân đầu này là mua món tiền nữa là nu tôi nu có là có pato hỏi that what they need. And so that was the reason why I chose family medicine as a career path to go. However, when I finished my residency, things kind of changed a little bit too, because I saw that family medicine, and I encourage a lot of people to still do family medicine, but I just fell in love with the urgent care side of it because with family medicine, it has a lot of stuff that you have to do as a physician, right? A lot of paperwork, a lot of pre-authorization that you have to go through. Oh, you know what? When I get home, I just want to be done. I don't want to do with any more paperwork. I just want to be done, right? So that's why I chose urgent care and then or urgent care. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why. Another reason why I chose family medicine was my father at that time. He was diagnosed with colon cancer. And so thunder you chip out medicine stuff like that. Thế là cho lâu là lỡ trên chai mu qua homo na bia đó khó lỡ sa tia ô có mu be homo je có lo je có you're not going to make it. Especially they worry about the word cancer, that it's not that it can't be treated. But what happened was my father had to go through that, and after that he had surgery, and then he was resected, and so they took out the cancer, and so he's cancer free. But it took him a long time to actually acknowledge Western medicine from Eastern medicine. So that was one of the another reason why that I chose to go into medicine was to bridge that gap of communication, the Hmong, the law. And then the third reason why I went to medicine was because I want to use medicine as a vehicle for medical mission. That was one of the ultimate goal. Yeah, because in the future, I see myself more doing missions and to serve underserved communities. Yeah.
How long did it actually take you for schooling? Because I feel like it's kind of different whenever I talk to physicians. I used to
Yeah.
work in a clinic and actually in family medicine. I used to work
Mhm.
for two doctors, and I feel like they're always like encouraging us to go to med school. But it's so different depending on the route that you go. But
Mhm.
in your path in choosing to be in family medicine, how long did your schooling take in your
So So go 4 years of undergraduate, right? Undergraduate was
residency?
4 years. Okay, go apply into medical school. That's another 4 years. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, when you get to medical school, those 4 years are broken down to 2 years. Okay. Of that was a basic science. Okay. So you got to go back and learn your biology, your biochemistry, your pharmacology, all those over again. Then the last 2 years are your clinical rotations, where they send you to different places around the United States to do your clinical rotations. Get to go well, the 4 year data that you can really apply into residency. Now, with residency, with family medicine, is 3 years on top of that. So after the third year, you got that. Yeah. But my years of residency went by super fast. It was just like a dream. I tell you, a lot of people say it was long, but mine was so fast.
I think that's because you enjoyed it, right? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
Everything you do,
fun
if you
trying
have a
to learn
compassion,
everything.
yeah, if you have a
Mhm.
passion for it, it goes by super fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, good. That's good to hear. So at what point did you like decide that you, instead of like working in urgent care, you decided that I'm going to open my own urgent care and run it and operate it as a business for yourself?
Yeah. So Toku Ta Pia Toku Ta residency go apply for Zhonglu. Okay. Go apply everywhere else but family medicine, to be honest, let take Jijona. Okay, let take Jijona. Yeah, like you make over six figure, right? For sure. But what happened was, I looked into the urgent care space. Although they had the emergency. Okay, urgent care and emergency medicine is like it goes almost hand in hand. So and not only that, with family medicine, we are trained to do emergency medicine too. So I thought I was like, you know what? Maybe I just stick with urgent care. Chỉ cũng muốn lựa đâu ilu company nhập bên nọ, North Carolina chỉ là hire là bên nọ. So at that time, là giờ lúa thì rong đua thế. That was one of the reason why. But thầu cũng không lựa đâu lời cái ý của hai đâu họ chạy họ podcast last time. Có không lựa đâu lời cái có bỏ đâu thì con gái nhiệm tao một đi trả đó là cho là lúc company na là thấy có chút chơi thế nào right chỉ có sao tao thì giờ thì cụ tiêu giờ cụ tiêu bảo hay thì cụ mua họ value bảo lý nó na then ôi cha cụ hơi chịu cụ right cụ tiêu tao cụ na because as a physician, when you come out of residency, you are your own brand. Okay, that's one thing that Gusa emphasized. You are your own brand. You become your own brand. You are a product of your own. Cậu không được tao là tự tao. That's my go. Like a nurse practitioner, PA, you are your own brand too. You can do your own stuff, and so that's what I figure out that. Trong all cái thầu của không lừa sư của bỏ tao để bây giờ number lo na cú tin biểu tàu khó shit chat thế cú nhìn gà tàu nhìn lần tàu chạy let thầy cú like super little so cú sao you know what yeah thì cú bảo lên nó là cái cú sao so so at that time that's when cú decide that cú your branch out cú yeah.
Is your family entrepreneurial? Like, how did you even like think like, you know what? I'm just gonna open up my own. Like, what did you have examples or
Well, all of my siblings are not none of them. We are not really entrepreneur mindset, but we we are more, I guess, like into the higher education part. I have a sister that's a lawyer. I have a sister that's a PA, and I'm the physician. I have a younger brother that's in chiropractor school right now too. So everybody's kind of going towards that way. But I think that the long term goal is for me to push everyone to become business owner in the field that they're in, and so I think that's what the goal is. But yeah, that you bought, yeah, you start out there either go or only totally do it got build a car the dream, or you start building your own dream.
Kudos to your parents, y'all. And very, very proud of they got, stacked hands.
I don't know. They're they spend a lot of money for sure.
Maybe you can kind of take us back to like just the early challenges and how you overcame some of those challenges.
Well, in starting the business, or in from personal growth, or what would you say?
Let's do the business.
Well, business the challenging part about the business is how to retain employees. Okay, how to vet your employees and how to retain them. Okay, our biggest challenge. How do you grow as a business, as personal growth? How do you as a leader? What is your goal? And so for me as a leader, it's personal growth, and at the same time my goal is to build my employees also. And so there's two jobs for me to do: is I build myself and build with your employees, because with your employees you're with your asset now. Okay, they're my assets, because they can't make. Okay, as a business owner you have to look at it that way. So for you to grow, got build, got your employees, got your employees, you got your data number, right? Itu na ni mo ni position, okay? You got to build, got to encourage, got to become motivated into your company. Got to what's a only got you're gonna have all different type of employees. Một cái idea tung kinh ấy sao tua clock in sit là you more hot idea, very loyal to call you more hot idea. You know what? This is a stepping stone. Okay, this is a stepping stone for me too. Get good enough experience, I'm moving to the next job. When the economy is good, people are shopping for all kinds of jobs, right? That's how we see it in this market. When the economy is good, people are looking for new jobs all the time. They're like shopping for new workplace. But when the economy is down, they are more stable. So this is how we also see it too as a business owner. And so the challenge is to how do I motivate my team? So what I usually do is go how to like the okay, what do you see yourself in our company in the next year? Okay, what do you see yourself? And so that opens up expectation. Okay, well, in the next year I want to become a office manager, or I want to be in this position, or I want to make X amount of number. Okay, so the follow-up question that I usually ask is that what kind of value can you bring, right? And how can I help you get to achieve your goal? Because as a employer, my goal is to help you become better at what you do, so that we become profitable. Okay, and so that is my goal. And so with that part, go ahead and like excite them, because they're gonna say, okay, well, Dr. Lee, you know what? I could do X, Y, and Z to bring in more customer. I could help out on the marketing. You know what? We can help more on the communication part, on this part. And then yes, if the number comes in, you will get your bonus, you will get your promotion, and at that time, you create new jobs and new position for people within your organization, and that's how you grow.
So you mentioned bonus. Do you do profit sharing as well,
Yes,
or just
yes,
straight?
yes, yeah. They will profit sharing. So, bây giờ providers mà bây giờ profit sharing, họ cho a mid level, trên mid level like cho a front desk here, cho MAs here, cho nên là cho nurses, nên là chỉ at the end of the year, let's see, quarterly, we almost every 6 months we pay more bonuses stuff. But even on that, we try our best to treat them really well too, within giving them rewards and feeding them every day, and yeah.
So with the profit sharing, do you
Mhm.
do like net, or do you do like based on what they bring in, or how exactly do you track
Yeah,
that?
so like for example, like big PAs, they can nurse practitioner, right? At the end of the year, big calculate there. Each of them love bring tumble, get big give their percentage, like maybe like 10% or 15% of what how much they bring in. So like, because as an employee, can both the E to PA, they do nurse practitioner could bring over a meal. Okay. They can build and guy like over emailing lot. So like, 10% of that is I'm okay with that, or 15%. I'm okay with that, because it's easily done.
So
Mhm.
have you had any employees that look at that and say, I'm bringing so much money and they're only paying me this much?
Well, Well, see, like that's see, well, like that's the part where you create leaders within your organization, and so to create the projects within your organization, then like how do they then like they don't want to leave, because now they have a role within your business. There are go create the leadership within them too, and so everybody's happy. It's a win-win situation.
So speaking of like when the economy is good,
Hmm.
people like to jump ship, and when it's not, it's sequel. How did COVID affect your business?
Well, for us, COVID was excellent for us.
Mm,
It was great for us because our more COVID we see with business with the healthcare, you can transition your business to any way that you want. Okay, so for us, to COVID hit, we were in the 150 160 patients a day.
wow.
Okay,
Mhm.
so we were seeing that daily, and people were getting burnt out with our staff. So we have to like reward them like consistently. Like say for example, like one of our rewards was like, okay, yeah, the base shite block your that day na, you pay more chicho automatically. Okay, on top of got salary. You base shite so chicho to tinning pay more ipo you pay so ipo you pay more up for that day that you work. So a lot of times the employee feel really happy about that because sure, week not they make the part that, right? So it incentivized called let you saw get burned out. And so a lot of places don't do that, but we did that, and we were able to retain better employees because of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
How
that.
did you guys get that idea? Was that just like leadership
Well,
kind of coming together? And like, how did
leadership
y'all?
come together, and you treat people how you like to be treated. Okay, you treat people how like you like to be treated because 頭哥我空你做你do it，個婆到 oh my goodness 個空你沙天你去take on like you want to quit too,
Yeah.
but what makes you stay is your needs, right? So that it comes down to that. So people that one, if we feed them every day, okay, people model people employee no, pay your model and no, they give the bonuses college. So okay, you know what? We're hitting that 100 patient mark. If we can like say we hit 99 and we hit 100 patients, you get $200. Why would you not do it, right? So you're gonna push out there. Hey, someone's calling in that they're coming in at like maybe like 750. Okay, bring them in because you know what? There's a bonus for you to do that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you were talking earlier about some of, like, I mean, basically your leadership style. Maybe you can talk a little bit, like, where did you learn that? Like, did you read from a book? Was it just other
Yeah,
leaders that
one
you've
of
seen?
one of the great leaders that I listen to is John Maxwell.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you guys have heard about John Maxwell, he's a great Christian guy too, and he talks a lot about leadership styles and leadership skills. So yeah, I try to pick up a lot of stuff about through him, Tony Robbins. Uh, they're great leaders within their company itself. And then when you listen to them, you're like, oh, okay, maybe I could utilize some of the stuff the strategies that they're using, so I could retain my employees. I can grow my company to be bigger.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then how do you, it sounds like you have a lot of strategies for your employees to not get burned out, but
Mhm.
how do you keep yourself from burning out?
For me, that's a
That's a
hard one because
hard
as a
one.
physician,
Yeah.
one of the thing that burns us out the most is compassion fatigue.
Mm.
That's real. Okay, when I first heard about this, because I did, oh, what is compassion fatigue? But it's real because at the end of the day, you have that 80-year-old patient, boy, and doing them all, you're tired, but at the same time, you still have the compassion to them. 個就到係路上的啦，個就到路啦，依下你個啥個啦，路個 the same way. So for me to be motivated is to say that what, I'm called to love, and if I'm called to love people, like love my neighbors, then regardless how tired I am, I have to do that because that's one of the greatest commandment that God has given to us is to love God and to love our neighbors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Callie, before you move on, let's pull some of the questions from the audience and have Dr. Lee answer them.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see. There was one that goes back into the education piece. So Sophia asked, how did you transition different with a undergrad in computer science? So you had your undergrad in computer science, and then you went on to med school. So did you have to just take courses, or how did you
Yes,
transition?
yes, I did. I had to start all over, which though I start all over again, and it was very difficult at that time because got the you're going back as a secondary degree. So like the studies were different. You have to learn how to study all over again. The languages are different, especially in biology and chemistry. All those are totally new different language, and you have to understand those. And so it was very difficult. But I do learn a lot of things with medicine. Is that the brain loves pattern? Okay, so like you have to one of the strategies is the brain loves pattern, and if you understand that, then medicine is very easy. Okay, because for example, right, like I always tell people, you can listen to a song and you memorize the whole lyrics and everything, right? But right, it's because that page of paper has no rhythm, has no color, has no beat, has no rhyme. So in your studies, if you can make it colorful, if you can make it has a pattern, then everything you do is going to stick into your brain a lot better. And so with medicine, that's the only way that I learned that for you to excel and to do well in medicine is that you have to understand that your brain loves pattern.
Can
So
you
did
give like an example of what that
Well,
means? Like,
like
I think
for
theory sounds good, but
like
application.
like for example, in the application form, right? So you make mnemonics. Okay, mnemonics is one strategy. You make a song out of it. You draw colors, you paint pictures of certain things that what you want to do. And so it's just like when you're driving, right? You're driving to the store, to Walmart. Your brain is already fixed on Walmart, but when it's time to turn, it automatically turns the way that it wants to because it's a pattern. So with medicine, it's the same thing. Apply the same concept into it, and then it's very easy after that. Because in medicine, we have to memorize like hundreds of medical terminology and anatomy and try to memorize that for a test. And so there's no way to memorize a big amount of words and to retrieve that in an hour or two unless you have some sort of way to do that. And so, yeah.
I love that. I remembered when I started working at a clinic, uh, patients would call in and you like ask for medication I've never heard of before, and I would have to create like a shortcut list and kind of highlight it because some of
Mhm.
them have the same ending, or like when
Yeah.
people call in with their symptoms, I'm like, I don't know what that means. So yeah, I think it definitely does help.
All right, we've got another question. So Melinda asked, my question is, how do you become compliant when healthcare is highly regulated? How do you maintain being in business?
Well, in terms of being with compliance, right? So there is a lot of stuff that you have to be in compliance for. That's why you hire people.
Mm.
Okay. You hire people. It's all about that. I'd rather hire somebody so I could save my time on compliance. Okay. Because for me to know about all these regulations, all these laws and OSHA and all these Blue Cross Blue Shields of what they required, I'm not going to do that because it's just going to take my time. So if you have the funding for it, just hire somebody. It just takes a lot of time for it. Yeah.
So when you say that, is that like working with a lawyer, or do you have an in-house person? And
In-house
what is that
person.
in-house person
Correct.
like? What's their
Mhm.
title? Like, is that a compliance
So
manager or?
correct. So like you have a business manager, come with the business manager, the office manager, and then they go and learn about it, and they come back and reinforce that to everybody about compliance. Say, hey, you know what? Document. This is how we need to documentation all of our stuff, or if we're giving vaccine, this is what we need to do, or certain guidelines has changed about this is what we need to do.
And I kind of feel like no matter what business you go into, what industry, now y'all, there
Mhm.
are always certain risk with different industry, and so I think
Yeah.
sometimes we get a little bit nervous because it might seem a little bit more risky. But I think there's insurance for that, and I think just any type of business is going to have some sort of compliance and regulations that go with it. Did I miss
There's
somebody? Let's
there's
or
some.
Va.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna do Va. So,
Okay.
how did you choose your partners to start your business?
Okay. So this one is a good one. Okay. This one's a good one. Okay. Toku, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail to this one. Okay. So when I
Mhm.
first started now, my company was called Frontline Urgent Care. Okay. It was called Frontline Urgent Care. And at that time, kutu partner ni yaitu panya India. Okay. That was one of my partners because New Teku Ukando Tao. So like, I reached out to her and with it, hey, you know what? I got this cool business idea. I want you to jump on it because Kusaga there, shake up what yeah, there, because I'm close with her too. And I think that we can really do this together and become successful. So we went and found the places and didn't get everything that we hired a lawyer and everything. But at the end, new back out on Kuna. So honestly, I was gonna live with her too. But I told her that friendship, new law business. So let's not put this business to hurt our relationship. I still see you as one of my really good friends, and you work out. I understand. More things like this to happen so that we can grow. Okay, so I took it as a positive encouragement for me to grow and to look out for other stuff. But at that time, I got really desperate too. So I reached out to a lot of people, a lot of the Hmong physicians that I knew too, but everybody was not ready at that time. So so then one day I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna reach out to an old buddy of mine. So I called one of my friends that we went to medical school together, and he was like, you know what? I'm still in India. I'm still in India. How about when I come back? So, and then at that time, Kuhanji, another guy too. And so I spoke to another guy because with urgent care, it's long hours, right? And it's you don't close. You work 30 days, okay? And it's 12-hour shift. So my strategy was I need to find another partner that going to and we rotate, okay? But during those time, I already know that we're going to be slow. So during the time that we're slow, I'm going to go do locum job outside, like working at the ER, picking up shifts at another urgent care. Got there, I could pay bills and stuff like that, right? So that was the strategy for that. So when I spoke out to my other buddy, ni Haruku there, well, it was in my Kuchika. I said, what? Why not? He's like, because ni more hotel, and we can't do it. We need three people. Okay, we need three people to do this. Yeah, the cuma pailing ma Kuchika. What are the call? We need itu la yuju la kia business part, how auto yuju la kia clinical part, right? So I thought about it. I said, you know what? Probably you're right. Because when I first started, the Punya India, like the lady I was telling you about, that one, I was doing everything. Okay, I was the CEO. I was the medical director. I was doing all this stuff. So after that, I learned that the way that you build your business, it starts with a strong foundation. Okay,
Mhm.
when you set a core business, it has to have a strong foundation. So it gave me the time to go study other businesses, like other successful urgent care out there. Like for example, like Fast Med, Low Med Express, Low. Yeah, go go study like your urgent care. How did they become so profitable, and how did they become successful? Then you understand that to create a business plan. They created a PLLC side, and they also created an MSO side. The MSO, you have a management part, and then you also own the PLLC side, okay, the professional side, which is the doctors and so forth. The management part is just the managing company. So you have to create two entity in that part. But you as a doctor, you got to be in both parties, okay? For example, yeah, all of a sudden I, bunk with a license, right? I can't practice no more law. I'm still owner of the MSO. I could still run the whole business side, right? And even though I can't practice law, which is the other one, that's what you want to do. So that is something that you can protect yourself. Now, with that entity be in place, and we have another guy to take over to help me manage the business side of part of it, and now I'm just taking care of the clinical side part. I'm telling you, it was like a big weight that just kind of lift off my shoulder. Now this is just the person that deals with negotiating and so forth. I went and negotiate. Okay, I went and negotiate contractors. They quoted me almost 500,000 just to build a house, just to build the interior part, right? And then I got my buddy negotiating, and then you up with the pasna. And
Wow.
then it struck to me that when you present yourself as a doctor, they're gonna coach you higher for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. So at that point, I was like, man, I'm getting suckered. How about I let this guy to go and negotiate, okay, and then I'll work from the back end with the strategies and so forth. And so that's what I did on that part.
And so how long have y'all been in business for?
So we've been in business for 2.5 years only.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
2.5 years. So 2.5 years. First year, we became profitable first year ready. Yeah.
Wow.
Because for one, it's about cost, right? Cost, they got overhead. You got to make sure it stay very, very low, even with even with your employees and so forth. So for us, our overhead cost was low, and inuno you got very successful. Got to take those 6 months rent up.
Mhm.
So everything is just like profit right there. Hmm.
Mhm.
So how do y'all stay like aligned in terms of vision, or have you, I mean, is it
Yes.
still pretty
So
fresh or?
yeah. So every month, got you more business meeting. Got your partner out. Idea. Hey, that's not. This is how our numbers are looking like. Okay, what can we do to re-encourage our employees? Because remember, we're in the business of okay, re-educating, reinforcing, okay, restatement your mission statement with everyone, re-educating everyone. Okay, so like you're always, this is a non-stop cycle that you always got to do to encourage your employees. And not only that, but as business partners, when you sit down and talk to them, like everyone has to be in like, yeah, there may be a little bit, disagreement here and there, a little bit, but those can be, how you look at it is what is the best for the company's interest. So when you make a decision on, say, hey, you know what is the best strategy for the company, then that is the final answer there. Because it can't be based on emotion. You could basically all a decision based on emotion, then it's not going to go anywhere, because it's about greed and it's about pride now. But when you make a decision based on the scope of the business and where you're looking 5 to 10 years from now, then that should be the way it is. And then at that point, everybody usually agrees with that.
And that re concept, where is that from John Maxwell, or is that something that you thought of,
I
or?
thought about that too. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, well, because like we're always doing the same thing over and over again. Like everyone they hire a lot. We always gotta reinforce this. We always gotta re-educating. We always gotta re-encouraging everyone over and over again. So I was like, oh man, we're in the business of re.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you said that you guys have been in business for a short period of time.
Yes,
When did
correct.
you guys decide to like open the second urgent care
Second
clinic?
time. Okay, so for us to be they become profitable, right? And so
Mhm.
our goal is to expand as to many urgent care. Okay, so they thought that, this is a good time for us to do it. And not only that, but the area that we looked at to our second area was one of our really ideal location, because with urgent care space, Nama, it's all about retail. Okay, in the past, about 20 years ago, medicine was usually in a hidden park, hidden medical plaza, and so forth. But nowadays, with how everything is going, couple of dental office is in a retail space, couple of, optometrists in a retail place, urgent care is in a retail place, because the out there, this is where it's driving all the people that are passing through. They are going to see your clinic and they're going to come by there. So you're looking at foot traffic here.
Yeah.
We have a question that I think is a very good one.
Mhm.
So Lau asks, "Hi, Dr. Lee. So how do you balance work life now that you own your own business versus working for someone else?"
Well, work-life balance, I still cover shift, but I have we kind of decreased just some but on the days go off, you're not really off that much because your mind is always thinking and you're either interviewing new workers or you're posting up jobs or like you're going back into the office, like you might transfer goods from one office to the other office. So even though I'm off, like I'm still doing all those stuff, like they may say, "Oh, you know what? We need something that Sam's Club. We're out of toilet paper, or like we're out of Lysol or something like that." So one of us are driving over there to pick up either snacks or food or Lysol or cleaning supplies for staff and things like that. So yes, the life balance is that you have to talk more enough employees, okay? Then you can relax a bit. And so that is one of the biggest challenge in owning a business or becoming a business owner. Idea you got to learn to let go, right? You have to go learn to let go. You cannot be successful yet because God, you're chained to yourself. Okay, pretty much that's what it is. Yes, you can be a business owner, but now you're chained to your own company. Okay, you can't make the money anymore, right? But more assets like people that work for you that they can bring in the income for you, then 個 short 到啦，同我幹嘛啲 short 到幹嘛啲 okay well Gucci only more a nurse practitioner more up to a physician only like I can relax and I can focus more on the business to grow the business. And so now it's more of growing. But when I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation. Yeah.
So can you maybe think back? I know you said that you guys have been in business for 2 years, but what has been the most pivotal in the success of your business?
I'm sorry, say again.
What has been the most pivotal in the success of your business?
Well, for one is choosing the right team. Okay. Choosing the right team is the most important thing. Um, the second thing is building yourself as a leader. Okay, because your job as a leader is to get your team to the success of where you want to be, right? So like you're taking your team to where you want it to be because you're leading them to that. And then with that part, it comes with one, it comes with now you're trying to grow other people. And so 頭個 grow 到個咗 staff 個嚟保喺個 Lucia Salika 個嘢嚟㗎嚟同佢 that is the pivotal for me that is the prime the peak there is when you can successfully train your employees to do exactly what you're doing.
I love that. Should we ask Chai's question?
Yes. So Chai says, ask him what his big ball moment so far.
You know, it's taking that leap of faith and just doing it, just like how Sai says, right? Because or that you will never. It's okay to dream. Dreaming is free. Okay, when you want to become someone, you can dream all day. Like for me, when I was a student and I wanted to go to medical school, what I did was I used to drive around doctor's office and park out there. And I would think that, one day this is going to be me. And I would drive to a different clinic and then I would think about that too. Remember, dreaming is free, but the journey is expensive. Okay. The journey is very expensive. And so how to get into the journey is the details with that part. And it's like that big ball moment where you just say, you know what? I'm going to do it. And you just do it. Because I never thought I want to be a doctor, honestly, because the lifetime learning is forever. Your lifetime learning. You got to go to CMEs every year. Things are changing with medicine. New medications are coming out. You're always learning. The boards may want different stuff. You got to study for like recertification. But I made a decision that says, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go all the way. The tunnel was dark, but I knew there was light at the end.
Yeah.
So you said that y'all have been in business for two years or 2.5?
2.5 years.
So what are your 5 and 10 year goals? And then I also want you to talk about maybe like your personal, like big, big ginormous goal that you would love to achieve.
Well, right now, hopefully by 2024, we try ilu clinic.
Wow.
Okay, so in 2023, there's not been more a lot of patients that come into the urgent care, let you more primary care. So instead of maybe yeah, they bet you urgent care, no, you bet you primary care. And they feed that not your patients a urgent care, a how primary care, so we can retain it. Because with primary care, if you hold the patient, you win. This is how medicine is. Yeah, they got your name then the gonna get okay, who holds primary care holds everything. And so with urgent care it's like that's much more called retainship, right? But with primary care, then you can retain that. So our goal is start a primary care clinic in right in between our both clinics, so people who needs, we just send it that way. And so yeah, that's what our goal is. But our goal is to still build at least at least 10 to 20 urgent care in the next couple of years. Yeah.
And is that all going to be in the Charlotte area? Or are y'all thinking across North Carolina, across the nation? Have y'all
You
thought
know,
about it?
we have not thought about it, but I want to kind of expand throughout North Carolina for sure.
And then what's your like what is do you have like a personal goal of like, maybe one day I might want to sell it, or like are
Yeah,
you just kind of like
like the exit strategy is to because you know because we've been approached already. But then my approached by a few people that won't sell you up out now, but then we're not ready yet only. So once we're ready, then they plan to more buy. But I do like the fact that yeah, I like to own one because for example, even if you at least if you save one, right? For me, it's good because you chỉ mua cho lâu, you chỉ mua cho cứ, you chỉ mua cho or selling dây yeah, you can still help them. I think that to me it was one of the most beneficial part or important part of owning your own clinic is because because for example yeah the como itu grandpa and need die day, right? You just give him over, come to your clinic real quick, come on the die day, that's it. All you have to need referral. It's so easy for you to do because okay you know what they may need a scan and they can't get into the primary. You can do it easily. And so those are the benefits that I saw.
All right, let's do a couple of questions from the audience. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Sophia asks, are there any plans to expand to add specialty with surgery within surgery center?
Not at the moment. But the only specialty that yeah, it might be more of a cosmetic like Botox, lip fillers, and stuff like that. Which we were planning to do that with the new clinic, but as how things are going around, I think we're probably going to stick more with the primary route and maybe do a med spa later on.
So Ba asks, are you partnered with any healthcare systems for imaging and labs? How did you develop that relationship?
Well, we are not a part of any kind of healthcare system because they are independent, right? Because to become with a part of a healthcare system, they pretty much take over. Remember how I said that when you form your business, you form the PLLC and the MSO side. When you're in business, they come and take over the MSO side. So now you lost control of everything. Okay. Yes, to take over now. Billing may increase because now rate that you're getting back from Blue Cross Blue Shield or United may go up higher because they got the better rate with any kind of hospital system. But now they're in charge of your scheduling, they're in charge of your staffing, they're in charge of everything the way that looks are run. So now you lost control of everything and you can't do all the stuff that you want to do. Like for example, yeah, they come to a family member, you get to let you more insurance, that they die. Like you can't just tell them to come in and shoot an X-ray. Kapach to learn, you know. In my situation, if like I have a nephew that you have to need you more insurance, like I can help him easily for free. You know, but being a part of healthcare system is something that we're not planning to do. Um, but in terms of lab wise, we do work with Quest. Okay, if they draw up labs, they just come and pick it up. Mhm.
Okay, and then one last question from the audience. Do you have a story about one or of your more frustrating challenge during the 2 years in succeeding your business?
Yeah, it's the most challenging part, okay, for Toku, starting Kuha, a business now, is because one, I was working in a different state. Okay. I was a regional traveler. So at that time, I was a physician for another company and I was building this company at the same time. That was really challenging because I would work as a regional traveler. Okay, they pay for my car, they pay for my food, my hotel, and everything, right? And so my wife and kid would like travel with me. Okay, and we would go to Virginia and work in Virginia, and then because I gotta drive all the way to Charlotte, okay, to finish up like 4 or 5 days of shift here, and then when I'm done here, I'm going right back to Virginia to do like a couple more shifts there, and it was a constant back and forth until we closed on our house, two, everything was more stabilized, and then that's when I said, you know what, I can finally leave all my other job and then just do this full time.
How long did that take between
It
first
was
opening
about
and then?
yeah, it was about almost 4 months.
That's not bad though, y'all, right? Like,
It was not bad, but it was tiring.
yeah,
It
I
was
bet.
tiring because, like, my wife and kids, they hated living in a hotel and back and forth, and it was just back and forth all the time. Too much driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you talked to your Indian friend that you didn't go into business with?
Yeah, yes, I do. We still, we're still really, really good friends, and I think that it was a blessing in disguise, like I told her to, because we may not have made it too, because at that time COVID hit, and we couldn't get any testing anywhere. Like we were
Mhm.
trying to look for rapid testing, chimoli, we were shopping around everywhere. It was until like 2 months down the road that we were able to get into a vendor that were able to supply us everything that we need. And I think that it was just me and her. I think we would have had a lot of heartaches. And so
Mhm.
I think it was a blessing in disguise, and there was no regret on that at all.
Yeah.
Olivia, any other questions?
I don't think so. Not for me.
Well, Dr. Lee, do you have any last words for just, like something that you can leave our audience with?
Yeah, I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina. I want to thank All That Talk for hosting me today. I'm hoping that through this, I was able to motivate and encourage a lot of young entrepreneurs, also people that want to go into medical school. If you're in North Carolina, you're looking to job shadow or come and work for me just to get your foot in the door. I'm constantly hiring medical students too, just so that I can help them out too. So if they want to, especially Mona, like I love to do that and teach you and train you to become the next great physicians for our future too. So with that, and also I could show you more of the business side of how to run and how to build a urgent care too. So I'm all here to help out our community, and I want to thank both of you guys again.
Awesome. So how exactly do people connect with you?
They
Can they
connect
connect?
me. They could chat with me on Facebook, or they can email me. And my email, I could put it down here, or I could send it to you, and you could put it up. And so if anyone wants to connect with me, feel free to connect with me.
Awesome. And then will you be attending the Wealth Builders, the Hmong Wealth Builders conference?
I'm still debating on that. If I don't, I will attend online. And
Mhm.
so because at that time I might be occupied with other projects that I'm doing too, but my goal is to tune in because there's some really good speakers there too. And let's see if I can open up my schedule. I love to come.
That's awesome. Yeah, so that is happening in August. And of course, you can use ATT 2023 for 10% off. But yes, we are, again, I think it's just amazing for us to have, found you. And again, and great stories within our community. And I know lots and lots of people, you really motivated me today. And so thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
All right. And thank you for everyone for being with us tonight. Of course, here at All That Talk, we believe that conversations drive change and change starts with you. With that, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.